Welcome to ACT Fitness Radio, the podcast teaching you to aspire, conquer, and transform your body and mind. Here's your host, Adam Castro.
All right, what's up, everybody? My name is Adam Castro, and I'm here with Jaylene.
Hey.
And you are listening to ACT Fitness Radio, coming to you from Whittier, California. We are Whittier, California's #1 fitness podcast.
That's right.
And we actually watched Jurassic Park. If you listened to the last episode, we told you we were trying to... Or not Jurassic Park. Jurassic World. Fallen Kingdom. And no spoilers. No spoilers. I enjoyed the movie a little bit more than Jaylene did. It was everything that people were saying it was. That it was a filler movie. It was absolutely a filler movie.
I enjoyed it. I did. I think that some people were definitely too critical of the movie. I think that they did a good job. Universal Studios they're the kings and queens of horror. Now, I know all of the Jurassic movies are not necessarily horror, but I always trust that Universal is going to put together a really good production.
And they did, but gosh darn it, why did they have to put someone in there just to be comic relief? My gosh.
The comedic relief was a little sore. There
was a whole character devoted to it.
I know.
A whole character.
I know.
Stupid character.
Oh, well, that's what the comedic relief is, though. They're usually an entire character devoted to being just that, right? A comedic relief. But the nice thing about a comedic relief is that they're usually subtle, and even if their lines are obvious or whatever, it fits really nicely. This comedic relief just didn't fit.
It didn't fit.
He just wasn't a good fit. That's all.
Anyway, I did appreciate there wasn't as much like product placement in this movie than the last one, because there was that. I mean, it was
when you're in front of a green screen, like, how can you do a whole lot of that?
No. In Jurassic World, there was a lot of product placement because it was a theme park. And so you saw, like, Pandora and Verizon and Starbucks and, like, all these
I see. So you're talking, like, brands.
Beats and all this stuff. Yeah. Okay. It wasn't so much the focus in this movie, which was really good.
Yeah.
This wasn't meant to be a movie like Jurassic Park was. This was meant to be a movie more so like The Lost World.
Yeah.
Which you know, like, if you haven't seen any of those movies, like, go ahead and check them out because they're decent movies.
Yeah.
Not so much for kids. Definitely something you're gonna want to see if you're okay with a little bit of blood and limbs.
Yeah, it's not like Jaws, but it's getting there.
One thing I really appreciated, one of our clients got us tickets for AMC, and that's how we were able to enjoy this movie.
Yes.
So thank you so much. And we actually saw this in Dolby Theater.
We did.
The Dolby AMC theater thing, and it felt like walking into a spaceship.
It was amazing.
It was amazing. It was so good, and you felt everything.
It was amazing. It was. Absolutely. It was beautiful. What an experience. I am not a fan. I'm super old school. Like, I think that the theater can be too loud. I don't want to feel every experience. Like maybe this is so lame, but I'm literally thinking about elderly people as I'm sitting there, like, they can't appreciate all of this. Like, their ears can't
elderly
handle
people
it.
are the ones who are taking the kids to go see the movies. Yes, so I understand that to a point. But
I feel so bad.
The whole movie industry doesn't seem like it's going in a good direction.
Oh, no.
Because people are able to see things on Netflix.
Totally.
Things are going to DVD faster.
Oh, yeah.
People can watch movies at home.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
These theater movie pirators are getting really good at what they're doing.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
You can watch a movie that's in theaters right now online at maybe 720 pixels, but it's still decent quality, and you don't have to go to the movies. And so the movie theaters have to create this amazing experience for you And I think that these Dolby theaters, the dine-in theaters, the big cushion seats
That's a
that
good point,
recline,
yeah.
like they're trying to make this an experience.
Alcohol
Over at the movie theaters, like they're trying to make this an experience for you to want to come to the movie theaters. And for me, that's what would get me to the movie theaters, is that I don't have a surround sound system. I don't have seats that rumble when bad stuff happens.
It's so catering. When we went to the movie theater, they had so when Adam and I have been both when we have been practicing keto and not, we are obsessed with Parmesan crisps. The theater we went to literally sold Parmesan crisps. I was blown away. And is it just me, or has the large popcorn, gotten bigger? It's huge. That thing is freaking huge. And it's not even a paper tub anymore. It's literally like the plastic cups that you get when you go to an amusement park that you can refill for $1. That's literally the material it is now.
Oh, yeah. They're definitely...
That's insane.
Well, that's where that actually, if you didn't know... I know that this isn't a movie podcast or anything, but if you didn't know, movie theaters do not get a lot of revenue from new movies. They actually don't get near any revenue from the movies themselves, at least in the first couple weeks of a release of a movie.
Right.
The majority, I think like 80% of the movie goes to the movie company.
Right.
Like Universal Studios would get most of that money.
Sure.
Instead of the theaters.
Sure.
The theaters get 20% of the tickets that are sold, which is nothing.
Yeah.
And so most of their money has to come from concessions. And that is how they actually get all of their revenue.
Interesting.
And so they have to...
Oh my God, don't tell me that.
Yeah, they really do have... And that's why they mark up that price.
That's horrible.
But they really do have to also listen to the market, which is why you're seeing Parmesan crisps there now, which is why you're seeing those stupid little healthy Lunchable packs.
Oh, I like those. I really like those. They're really cool. Yeah, there's like these... they have them at the store. I forgot the name of the brand, but it's like salami with... and the carbs in there, they're like little bread crisps, but they're nothing. It's mainly cheese, salami, the bread crisps, and then I think it comes with like nuts or something like that. It's not horrible.
No, it's not horrible. It's like a little Lunchable pack.
Yeah.
We know that it's, on top of whatever you're eating in the day.
But it's not like a Lunchable. It's not Lunchables. It's better. It's definitely better than Lunchables.
Better, yes. I just think it's funny that these are the things that they choose to put in as healthy foods, and then they don't get rid of the bad stuff.
Well, considering everything... Well, of course not, but considering everything else that the movie offers, those are healthy.
Yeah, those are definitely healthier. And if you're going to be sitting in front of a movie for 2 hours... Parmesan crisps and those little packages are definitely going to be better for you than having a whole big old thing of popcorn.
And ice cream. Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, this podcast is about helping you to aspire towards your goals and conquer all the obstacles in your path and be transformed. So what we're going to talk about today in this episode is going to be why you're not seeing results in the gym or outside of the gym even.
Just why you're not seeing results in your life.
Yeah. And the first thing that we have to look at when figuring out why we're not seeing results in anything is our honesty with ourselves. We have to be honest with ourselves.
Right.
If we are, we can whine and complain about how maybe our wrist tracker may not be accurate, or I'm putting in the food that I'm eating, but it must not be adding up correctly, or my personal trainer isn't working me hard enough. Like all these things, we can whine and complain about those things, but what it really comes down to is, are you being honest with yourself in all of the factors that could be playing a part in you being successful in your goals?
Yeah.
Or are you not?
Right.
And I do really think that we are less honest than we think, because we always like to make ourselves out to be a little better than we are.
Yeah.
I mean, and especially when we're trying to present. I've seen this with my clients all the time. My clients will come up to me, and when I know that their nutrition has not been on point, when I can see it in their eyes that their sleep has not been on point, they'll usually respond with a, "No, it's been good." It's been good.
I'm all right.
And honestly, it's all of it's difficult, all of it's hard. But when you are honest with yourself and you're honest with the people who are trying to help you, you're going to see results a whole lot faster.
Yeah.
The first step is honesty. Really look at the factors in your life that will help you reach your goals or hurt you reaching your. Or, did I say hurt you?
Yeah.
hurt you, or the factors that will hurt you in reaching your goals. Because sleep can help you. Mm-hmm. Sleep can absolutely help you, but it can also hurt you as well.
Too much, sure. Don't get too much sleep.
I mean, yes, too much, but also
or
too
too
little.
little. Right.
Obviously, if you sleep 12 hours a day, you're not going to have any time to work or work out or
that's your whole day.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Don't do that. Unless you're like a junior higher or a high schooler and you just got off for summer, go ahead, sleep.
Sleep.
They stress you out too much. You got too much pressure on you.
True, sleep. They should sleep too.
We got sleep. We have sleep as a factor that will either help us or hurt us. And so, being honest with yourself, how many hours are you actually sleeping? Is it 6 hours? Is it 7? Is it 8? Is it 4? Are you waking up in the middle of the night? Can you actually say that it's a complete 6, 7, or 8 hours, or is it all broken up?
It's completely ridiculous to expect so much of yourself when you're hindering yourself so much. Like, you can only push yourself so far. You can't keep telling yourself, I'm going to get, the reality of my life is I only get 3 to 4 hours of sleep a night, and I'm going to keep pushing myself. And then when you ask yourself, say, you slow down one of those days, and then you ask yourself, why am I slowing down? Well, because you're human, because you can't push yourself too far.
Yeah, and yet you really did make a good point. You can't expect too much of yourself when you're not actually giving yourself the tools that are needed to succeed.
Yeah, you can't expect amazing results when you're hindering yourself from so many. You're holding yourself back.
Absolutely. If you right now are trying to hit a fitness goal or even a goal in work or in life, and you are only sleeping like 3 or 4 hours, then that is something that can drastically change the outcome of you reaching your goals. Right there, get an extra hour of sleep. Try to fit in an extra hour. Try to fit in an extra 2 hours if you can.
And don't be oblivious or unaware or in denial about the things that may be holding you back from any of your goals, any of them.
Yeah, and the sad thing is that when we sleep one night 4 hours, it drags us along, and then we end up having caffeine to try to push through the next day, and then it's very hard to go back. You can't make up that sleep. You can't make up that time. You can't make up those days where you were just kind of, half awake all throughout the day, not able to perform at your best. You can't make up those workouts. You can't do. There's a lot of things that you can't get back when you already kind of start yourself off on the wrong foot of just setting yourself up for failure with only getting just that little bare minimum of sleep. And I've actually seen charts of where your hormone levels will dramatically decrease between 4 and 6 hours of sleep. It does decrease between 6 and 7 for sure.
Yeah.
But there's way more of a dramatic change from 4 to 6, just those 2 hours of sleep. And so many people think, I can function well off of 4 hours of sleep. I can think well. I can function as long as I have my cup of coffee. Like, no. Like, chemically, hormonally, there are things happening that you are not in control of that are going to make you put on more body fat, that are going to keep you from pushing as hard in the gym, keep you from recovering as well. It just all is bad for your overall health.
I mean, we kind of are in control of those things, though, right? Like, we are in control of being able to make sure that those hormone levels are leveled.
Problem is that people don't do that, or people won't take those opportunities, and you have to recognize that one big opportunity that you have is the amount of hours that you spend sleeping.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead and talk about another aspect that's either going to help or hurt you seeing results in the gym or outside of the gym, and that is your nutrition.
Yeah.
Something we just talked about in our last episode. Nutrition is so crucial and important to your goals. And if you're not on point with that, and when I say on point, I mean in the sense of that you have a good relationship with whatever kind of structure you are trying to do. Because some people are going to try to create a structure for tracking. Some people are going to try to create a structure for intuitive eating, or a structure of if it fits your macros, or ketogenic, whatever. Like veganism, like whatever your structure is, that you are at least consistent in that.
Yeah.
Because even someone who's on If It Fits Your Macros is going to see better results than someone who is just eating whatever the heck they want.
I mean, they're still eating whatever the heck they want, but within limitations.
within limited macronutrients that they need in order to see results. Yeah, and I think I heard a quote somewhere. I think it was on another podcast where they were saying that a crappy. It was a Mind Pump guys on programming. A crappy program done consistently is better than the best program in the world done inconsistently. And that's kind of the same with nutrition. Like a crappy diet done consistently is still better than a clean, amazing, good for you, healthy diet done very inconsistently.
Yeah.
And so as long as you are consistent with what you're doing, you're on a better path than not being consistent.
And really ask yourself what your motivation is for your consistency, because so much superficial motivation will cause you to crash and burn later.
Yeah. If you and this leads us to why it's going to hurt you in your results, because if you are not consistent, then this it was Lane Norton. Lane Norton said something that was so awesome. He was like, if your diet is so good, then why are you cheating on it? Like if your diet if you love your diet so much and if you think it's so awesome and amazing and it's the answer to your nutrition problem, then why do you feel the need to cheat on it? And
that's pretty good.
And break that consistency with it.
Yeah.
And I agree. Like if you find that something is so difficult to stay on track with, then that's not the one for you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just not the one for you.
Yeah.
You got to change it up, or you have to just kind of step back and see, why am I so inconsistent with this? Is this because it's not good for me, or is this just because I'm lazy and I haven't set myself up with the discipline in order to keep this on point?
Yeah.
And that's those are again, being honest with yourself. Those are the questions that you have to ask yourself. Do you really have a good motivation, or do you at least have good purpose in why you're doing this specific diet or style of nutrition?
Yeah.
And if you don't, then maybe you need to find something else.
So interesting. Have you seen the reverse food pyramid?
No, I have not.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar.
It's super interesting. So I've been doing a little bit of research on that and kind of figuring that out. So I came across the reverse food pyramid when I was looking at my Nutrition IX tracking app, and on there, so you can see your nutritional fact breakdown for the day, and under that nutrition fact area are micronutrients. So you can look at the breakdown of all of your micronutrients and see how much of those micronutrients you received from that day. So I was going through and looking up what foods have the most of vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin B12, and so on and so forth, theanine, and all of these other ones. And a lot of things that came up were red meat. Red meat and eggs were the number one. Those were the first things that came up before even fruits and veggies.
Heck yeah.
So it's just this idea of reversing the food pyramid. So as I was researching all of these things, as I was researching all of these micronutrients, what came up a lot was to reverse the food pyramid that we're so familiar with, and what should be at the top is red meat, and then fat, and then dairy, and then fruits, and then veggies. And grains are not even a part of the equation. They're barely a part of the equation, if at all.
Yeah, and I think it's not just reversing the food pyramid, but reversing the lies that we've been told, that you have to have grain in the morning with your cereal, and you have to have that piece of toast, and then don't have too many eggs because it's bad for you, and don't have any high fat diet. There's that we can go on and on about. But again, what is going to be overall healthy for you, and what is going to keep you consistent? And it's really sad, but those foods that are least healthy for us, those foods talking about the reverse pyramid, the foods that should be the least important, are actually the ones that probably cause us to fail the most.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that if you do your due diligence with tracking how you feel on a higher fat diet or how you feel on a lower fat diet, then 9 times out of 10 you'll probably feel better and perform better on a higher fat diet. But honestly, it is going to depend on you and your own body and what you're going to be able to consistently do, because that is going to affect your results. And one other aspect of your nutrition is calorie consumption. A lot of people, and going back again to being honest with yourself, being honest with how many calories you're actually consuming, because a lot of calories can slip through the fingertips and you could be taking in an extra 500, 600, 700 because you're not accounting for that sugar that you put in your coffee, or you're not accounting for the handful of peanuts that you're having.
Or how little, right?
Or how little, yeah.
How much you're not
if you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to be in a caloric surplus, you're trying to be in a caloric deficit, you're trying to lose weight, you need to make sure that you are tracking that barbecue sauce, that creamer that you're putting in your coffee, like all of those things. And if you're trying to gain weight, you need to not pretend like just eating, in quotations, more food is going to be enough. You also need to track as well. If you don't know what 3,000 calories tastes like, then you need to track and find out what does 3,000 calories taste like and look like and feel like and all of those things. Because eating more may still not be enough.
Right.
And you need to know also where does that fall under the macronutrients? Do you need to eat more fat? Do you need to eat more carbohydrates? Do you need to eat more protein? You won't know unless you're actually tracking how many grams of each macronutrient and how many calories overall. And so, it's hard to be honest with yourself when you don't know. And that's why tracking is so valuable. That's why tracking is an amazing tool to use, especially if you don't know what a lot of these foods' calories are and you never have known. Just spend a little bit of time tracking, a month, 2 months, 3 months, and discover. We talked about this in other episodes.
Yeah.
Discover how many calories are in certain foods that you eat on a regular basis.
I would even challenge someone who, let's say you don't have any fitness goals in mind, I would still advise that you track anyway. I would still encourage you to track anyway, just to be knowledgeable about where your resources are coming from. What types of food are you eating? Are you seeing a habit? One of the most important things we want to do is help you to identify the habits that you've been creating for yourself.
Yeah, like we mentioned with going into the gym and discovering your body, should be the first things that you focus on when you go into the gym. When you are looking at your food, the first things that you should be doing is discovering how foods affect you and discovering what foods have certain breakdowns. And Jaylene was just saying, like, just even discovering what micronutrients foods have, so that hey, if I want to have a good, healthy level of these micronutrients, then I need to make sure these foods are in my nutrition.
I mean, instead of taking a supplement, right, we've advised strongly against supplements. Supplements can have a place, but doing your own research to figure out where these micronutrients come from, where the proper sources of these micronutrients come from, can be all the more beneficial.
Yeah, and we're not born with this innate knowledge of what micro and macronutrients are in certain foods.
Right.
So if you don't look it up, then you won't know. And if you don't know, then you can't blame anything else, or you can't use this as evidence that you are having it on point with reaching your goals because you don't know.
It's true.
So this is a factor and an opportunity for you to go back and say, well, let me go ahead and try to track and keep this on point, because I can't say that I'm doing everything possible to reach my goals if I don't have this aspect on point, just like with your sleep.
Yeah.
So there is one more aspect of what might be affecting your results, and honestly, I think it might actually be the most important aspect, and it's that you're putting way too much time and energy and focus in the wrong things that will not end up benefiting you. And this could be applied to sleep. This can be applied to nutrition. This could be applied to your training. You're doing the wrong exercises. You're coming in either too many times or not enough times into the gym. You're focusing on the flashy Instagram kind of exercises rather than the biggest bang for your buck exercises.
You're not focused enough.
You're not coming in with the desire to learn or to be teachable in your training sessions, or when you go into the gym, you're not willing to listen to your body. You just want to push hard, push to 110% and go beast mode when your body's telling you something completely different.
You're too stressed out,
staying up late, focused on work, staying up late, doing maybe even nothing, maybe spending, and I definitely fall prey to this sometimes, where I'll go on YouTube, rabbit trails instead of actually getting the sleep that I know I need.
Yeah.
Just because I want more information, and YouTube's so good at just kind of catching you and reeling you in. or for some of you, Netflix, right? Netflix, watching the next episode, and just falling prey to that.
Easy.
You spend way too much time and focus and energy on the wrong things. And this is something else that you need to be honest with yourself about. You need to be honest. Am I actually wasting time in this thing that I'm doing? Am I wasting my life watching this or doing this or exerting myself in this workout? Am I just wasting time? Because if my body's not primed and ready to do this, then is it even worth it? Is this actually going to help me, or could it possibly hurt me?
Yeah.
And that's part of why Jaylene and I love our jobs as personal trainers, because we get to help people discover what is wasting their time. Where do they need to place their focuses? What kind of nutrition is going to work best for them?
Absolutely.
How much sleep do they need? How can we problem solve to make sure that we are getting enough sleep? How can we problem solve to make sure that we can make good decisions when it is tough to make those decisions? Maybe you can't sleep 6, 7, 8 hours. Maybe you have to sleep 4. So okay, let's try to do as little damage as possible and figure this out.
Right.
And that's important. You're probably not seeing results because you're not willing to figure it out.
Yeah, you know, something that kind of drives me crazy is when someone does say, you know, I have done X, Y, and Z, and I cannot seem to keep the weight off. Or I did keep the weight off. I lost such and such amount of pounds, but I've gained it back since then, and I have not been able to keep it off or bring it off again or get to where I want to be. And then us as personal trainers, ask a simple question regarding nutrition, or ask a simple question regarding how many hours of sleep they're getting, and you can see it all over their face that they know the answer that they're going to give you is not what you want to hear. You know that it's not good. They're not getting enough sleep, or their nutrition.
Or it's something they already know.
Or it's something they already know.
Already
yeah.
known
or
for a long time. They just want to change it.
Right. And sometimes those, not sometimes, most of the time, a lot of the time, almost all of the time, it's that one little thing that is the reason why nothing else has changed.
Yeah.
We have to be willing to break our habits, and we have to be willing to change and progress and know that it's not all going to happen at once.
And adjust your life and your lifestyle to be able to meet those demands, because again, just going back to everything that we talked about in this episode, if you're spending it all intertwines. If you're spending a lot of time in energy and even money in things that are not going to help you reach your goals and may be keeping you up late at night, well, then you're not going to be getting that sleep, and you're not going to reach your goals as fast as you want to, if at all. It could just lead you down this cycle of not reaching your goals, tiring your body out. You may be seeing a little bit of progress, but then it ending up leaving you because you haven't set good habits in place. And then also with nutrition, if you're having, crazy amount of carbohydrates all the time at night, and it's keeping you up, again, you're not getting the sleep, and you're not getting the consistent diet, and you're spending money and time in things that aren't going to help you. Like these are all intertwined and related. So you have to do your due diligence in looking at all of these different factors and saying, am I actually doing everything I can possibly do in my power? We know that there's people who have crazy work schedules.
Yeah,
we know that
absolutely.
There's people who
us, hello.
Yeah, and doctors and police, sheriff's department officers who have these crazy schedules where they're forced to work overtime and do these crazy hours, work through the night. Like, we understand that there are problems. We understand that there are things that need to be thought out and thought through, but you have to be willing to do that and look at all these different aspects and saying, am I making as much amount of time for me to sleep? Am I setting that time aside? Am I at least being on point with what I can? Where's the closest, healthiest place that I can go from my work? Or can I just bring food over to work? Can I use a meal prep service instead of buying my foods out, because it's going to cost pretty much the same amount of money
nowadays?
Nowadays, yeah. There's so many opportunities for you to get healthier food available to you now. And as far as spending time and money, am I spending time and money in things like and you know what? I know people love things culturally, love sports, love video games and movies and pastimes and hobbies and things like that. But if you are seriously and genuinely trying to chase health, or chase a healthier body, or a healthier relationship with food, or more sleep, or spending more time and energy and resources on your health, and you're so upset that you've tried everything and it's not happening, then where is your money going to? Where is your time going to?
Yeah.
Where are your resources going to? What is the focus of your mind day to day? You
going
setting
somewhere?
What are you setting time aside for? Those are the things that you should be asking yourself if you're really serious about making the change and the sacrifice to
definitely
actually see those goals come to life.
Definitely have to be willing to make sacrifices. Absolutely. Yeah. It's a daily battle. It really is. You have to know what you want and be willing to make some sacrifices to get there.
And it is possible.
It is.
You can make these choices.
Totally. You are never, ever too far gone. You can always come back. You can always start now, come back now, do it now. There's no time like the present.
Especially if you're in a place where you've kind of been in this cycle for a long period of time, and you feel like, I've tried everything and it's just not working, and you feel like giving up. You feel like just not caring anymore and eating whatever you want and doing whatever you want, because you feel like, well, I guess nothing's been working, so I might as well just stop trying. Look, that is not an option.
Right.
That is not an option, because you know where that road leads. That road leads to obesity, disease. It leads to bad overall health. It leads to a body that, I'm not for fat shaming anyone, but I do not think that anyone who looks at themselves in the mirror and sees that their body is a result of bad decisions that they made is going to think that that's healthy.
Yeah.
Regardless of how beautiful of a person you are, you can be an absolutely beautiful person and still be an unhealthy person. And I don't think anybody wants to be there, especially as a result of decisions that have been made. And so you just need to see that as not an option. You need to make sure that every single day you are making good decisions leading you towards a healthy place, a healthier place in your life, as best as possible, as best as to what is in your control. And if you're doing that day to day, every single day, for the rest of your life, then you can be proud of where you're at, whether it is in a good or a bad place. You can be proud of the fact that you have made good decisions for yourself, in the amount of time that you've given yourself to make those good decisions.
You guys, this is a journey. You are never you are never fully at your destination, right? I mean, we are constantly changing as human beings. Our diets are going to constantly change. Our goals are going to constantly change. It's never going to be the same as long as we keep growing.
And yeah, it is important to know there's no such thing as a perfect body, and there's no such thing as perfect health. There's no such thing as being free from disease and being free from inflammation and pain. Like those things will arise just because we're human and we're imperfect, and we go through accidents, even injuries, things like that. And so it happens. It absolutely does happen.
Yeah.
But again, the journey. It is the journey.
Yeah, we have not arrived.
No,
we're still on the journey.
You have to be willing to be on that journey and not think that you're just going to be at the destination.
Right.
Because in reality, we may never be as healthy as we want to be. We may never look as good as we want to look. We may never be as strong as we want to be. All those things. And you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
But along the way, just love the journey and love the path that you're on, the path of health. Don't try to chase this diseaseless body and this beautiful, perfect looking body that's in your mind of what you should look like. Just chase that path that is leading you in that direction, And that is going to help bring you to a better place and actually help you to be proud of the decisions that you're making. And I think that is the goal that everyone should be having when they're trying to look at success and their goals. Success isn't just found in being there and getting there. Success is found in the process of getting there. It's found in the journey and the path of getting there. Because losing 20 pounds, putting on mass, lifting heavier weight, you get into one little injury and that can all go away.
That's true. Absolutely.
That can all go away.
Amen.
And you have to be okay with just being on that journey again, and leading yourself back to that place.
Yes.
So, but right now, if you are in a place where you want to succeed at your goals, you're aspiring towards something and you see those obstacles in your path, don't be fooled that it's not going to be a challenge to get past those obstacles, to get past and conquer those obstacles. It will be a challenge. You will have to sacrifice, and you will have to look at all these different aspects and see, am I actually doing everything I possibly can to reach those goals? And if you are not, then go ahead and create structure and discipline so that you can conquer those obstacles, so that you can reach that goal and be transformed by it.
And if you need guidance, we are more than willing to help you with that. We would absolutely love to be a part of that journey with you.
We are all about being a part of that journey with you. So send us a message on our Instagram. It's at ACT Fitness Academy. Visit our website, www.actfitnessacademy.com. I feel like I said too many W's there. www. www.actfitnessacademy. And listen, if you did like this episode, then share it with someone, because I think there's a lot of people who need to hear this message.
Absolutely.
So that they can reach their goals and they can be real with themselves.
Even if you didn't like this episode, share it anyway.
Yeah, even if you didn't like it, share it anyways. And if you did like it, then go ahead and leave us a 5-star rating and review. Tell us what you liked about it.
Yes. If you didn't like it, tell us that also.
Yeah, still leave us a 5-star rating and review. And tell us why you didn't like it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And guys, if you do want to listen to more episodes like this, then be sure to subscribe to our podcast. Even if you don't want to listen to more episodes like this, then go ahead and
just
subscribe.
do it anyway. Just do it all.
Yeah. But ultimately, guys, we do hope that we were a help to you. This is a very serious topic that is near and dear to us, because we deal with this with our clients all the time, where they have to be face to face with themselves and the decisions that they make every day.
And that's the biggest challenge.
And that is the biggest challenge, coming face to face with yourself, looking at your decisions and doing the best that you can to make the right ones when you can.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. Until next time, stay healthy.